Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Two Down Dan video. And today we are going to talk about the Ninja 500 versus the Yamaha R3. I actually had my handy dandy tool, aka ChatGPT, hook me up with some taste day little comparisons between the Ninja 500 versus the R3 so that my brain doesn't have to work as much today. Because I've already filmed one video, I've done a bunch of things, I've gone for a hike. So your boy is tired, and we are gonna, oh my god, let's hop back into neutral, dude. I should have hopped around I wanted to hop off and like show you guys the bike real quick. I would love doing that. But there's gonna be a lot of traffic right now. It should be a pretty sweet video. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, and welcome back to another moto vlog, you guys. I wish we were on the move right now, but we're not. So let's start off right off the bat with power when it comes to the Ninja 500 versus the Yamaha R3. Because with the Ninja 500, you're going to be boasting a nice little 451cc parallel twin. But with the R3, you're going to be rocking with only a 321cc parallel twin. So I'm actually not going to split right now. So you're definitely going to have some difference in power. I'm not exactly sure what the top speed is going to look like on the R3, but just know it's probably like 10 or so, a little bit more than 10, less than the top on the Ninja 500. Because when you're talking about horsepower, you're doing 41 horsepower on R3, and you're doing about 51 horsepower on a stock Ninja 500. So there's definitely a little bit of a gap between the two, and I think when we're just talking about power, obviously Ninja 500 is going to take the cake. We're going to go through right here. And we're going to speed up a little bit because I want to get onto the highway. Because that type of stuff is a lot more fun, dicing it up rather than just me by myself on the street like this. But thank you guys so much for clicking onto another video. I'm hoping this comes out on like Saturday. So happy weekend for you guys. And enjoy another comparison between the 500 and the R3, which is definitely one of the primo beginner bikes that you can buy. So now that we've talked about power, let's talk about the weight and the ergonomics. The R3 is actually going to sit a little bit more aggressive than the Ninja 500, so just a little bit more, not too bad. But if you're going to be doing more like daily commuting, riding and stuff like that, I think you're going to be more comfortable, slightly more comfortable on the 500 than you are on the R3. So not a noticeable difference, but definitely just a little bit. And the weight difference between these two bikes is literally nominal. They're pretty much the exact same weight. 380 something pounds for the 500, 375 pounds for the Yamaha R3. So you're definitely not worried about weight between these two bikes. They're going to be the same, which is a big consideration when I chose my bike, because I only weigh 145 pounds. So I didn't want to buy something that was going to be so heavy that if I dropped that thing, I needed to be able to pick it up on my own. And I didn't really think anything bigger than this I would probably be able to pick up on my own, which is definitely a problem. All right, watch. We're going to make this corner a little trail break in. I got to drop down to third. This is when I usually like taking this corner. I'm going to go wide. Going wide. I'm going to lean off the bike a little bit more here. Trying to keep the bike upright while I lean off as much as I can. But yeah, this is that same little area that you guys saw last time where we flew up and there was all the traffic on the left side. So I think we're kind of get that same feel tonight. But we talked about the power. I think the Ninja 500 wins. Talk about the ergonomics. I also think the Ninja 500 wins. And when you're talking about weight, they weigh the same amount. So really no comparison there. Let's talk about tech and features, because the Ninja 500 SE model is going to come with this amazing color TFT dash, but that is only with the SE. Keep that in mind. If you get a base model, you're going to have a pretty not ideal screen right here. I just don't really like the look of it. The R3 is going to murder the base model 500 when it comes to looks in the screen, but the SE model the SE 500 model beats the R3 all day, in my opinion. That's going to be my opinion on the screen. And there's really no other tech and features on these bikes that are worth talking about because they're beginner bikes. It's not like they have heated grips and freaking wheelie control and what's that thing called? Ride assist. I don't even know what it's called. When the bike just goes for you, you don't have to be on the throttle. Yeah, you guys can make fun of me for not oh my god, I'm literally gonna blank out on what the word is. Auto drive. What the fuck is this word? Auto drive or whatever. Yo, please put it in the comments. Oh my god, dog, I can't speak. I don't have auto drive. What am I talking about? That's hilarious, dog. I told you my brain was mush. Yo, let's go to styling before I say anything else dumb. I think the R3 might have a better style. Maybe. I don't know. The tail end is pretty sick. It's on the new 2025. It's got these like little indents in the back passenger seat that are nasty. 500 for sure doesn't have that. So honestly, it's the 500 like looks a little bit bigger. The R3 looks a little slimmer, a little smaller. So it kind of depends on what you're going for, but I still feel like I'm on a really small, nimble sport bike with the 500. So yo, honestly, I'll give the styling and looks to the R3. We can give the R3 something. Now let's talk about price, because everybody needs to know about price. Can I buy this bike? Can I buy that bike? What can I buy? Well, these bikes are both amazingly affordable. So you've heard me say many times before that I got my anniversary edition, which is the highest edition of the 500s you can get. I got on this bike for $7,100, which is pretty sweet. Out the door, everything, bada bing, bada boom, $7,100. And oh, my notes went away. No, ChatGTP. Oh no, my phone died, dog. I can't even get gas, dude. I need to get gas on the way home, bro. And my phone just died, so I can't do anything. What an absolute nightmare, y'all. I think we were talking about price. So base model 500, I think, is going to be similar to the R3. I think the R3 will still be a little bit cheaper, around that $5,000 range. But yeah, man, I'm so sorry my notes went out on me, because I don't know a ton of information on the R3. I've never ridden one or anything like that. I can really only go off of what I've seen online or what I've seen in person. And sitting on it felt cool, it looked cool, but the 500 felt a little bit nicer, and I knew I was going to get that extra bit of power, which is why I went with it. Yo, let's go over to the right. Get through some of these cars a bit. But yeah, we were talking about price, we talked about weight, we talked about looks. To be honest, we kind of nailed the comparison between the 500 and the R3. I don't really know what else you'd be looking for information-wise when it comes to those two bikes. I'm gonna split right here. I tried to grab 6th and I missed it. I hate missing shit, dude. You guys want a little top speed run? I'm trying to maybe get a little top speed run in every video now. Now that I got the new oil in the chain. We're going buck 20, boys. $125. That's pretty much top. Pretty much top. I don't really want to ride too fast right now because I'm low on gas. And I don't personally believe it's smart to run your bike super heavy when you're low on gas. So, your boy is going to sign off for today because we killed that comparison, even though ChatGTP destroyed my battery on my phone. So, yo, please subscribe, please, 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 if you haven't, and go watch another 2 Down Dan video and get a little bit more into my riding culture. Later.